Welcome back to Alma, Missouri. We are selling some dried corn today. We're probably going to find a solution for how long it takes us to get to this production area and home. That's been one of the pain points in this series, but I'm super excited to get back in this playthrough. I've been missing just some traditional farming. We've been doing a lot of starting from scratch on the other series we have going, so it'll be nice to just, have equipment already established, just do some farming, enjoy Farming Simulator, and make some money in Alma. Work towards our goals in this series to get all the Alma specific productions. But we should be making a pretty penny on dried corn here, and I think we're gonna buy a semi and at least one trailer today for moving around the tomatoes from the home farm back to the production. That's the plan at least. That's 110,000 right there. That's glorious. Let's go ahead and get more. I think we'll have 2 full loads and 1 partial load. But yeah, that's part of the plans to get back into this playthrough, and we have a decent amount of fields already established. We'll have to take care of them and figure out exactly what we want to plant, and it looks like we will be doing corn every year moving forward on this playthrough, since we do have the corn drying station, but the popcorn factory is next. Oh, I guess it is just 1 and 77% of this load, so not quite another 110,000, but it'll be another pretty good payday here. And let's see exactly where our total is going to be. So another 85,000 there. That gives us a total of $309,000 in our account. We're going to head on over to the dealership, which I believe is right here. I believe this is dealership parking, if I'm remembering correctly, but I could be completely wrong. It's been a minute. And just double checking before we move on, we do have all of these goods that are, able to be sold. Sorghum we're gonna keep for feed, straw we're gonna keep for feed, and hay for feed as well. The manure and slurry we're gonna use on the farm as well. Tomatoes do need to get moved over to the ketchup production. We have a pretty good price still, though we'll probably wait until December again to sell all of those. Same with eggs, and all the milk needs to be next fall, or this upcoming fall. Wool's the big thing we have a ton of right now, $100,000 worth. It's not going to be, ready to be sold until May, so this is the dollar amount we have for now, and something to make it easier, well, a start, and maybe we'll have money to buy a trailer for the semi that can hold a little bit more than this trailer, but the semi being able to drive faster is really the benefit we're gonna get. So let's take a look in here. I wanna get something powerful enough. We've struggled with this international on a few series. This is 400 horsepower. We can get this one up to 500. Same with those. The Mac is 500 though. It seems to have struggled, but its price is pretty good. I don't know if we can beat that price. What about used right now? Nothing really that we need used. So I think we will go, let's go with this Mac. Why not? Let's check out the other designs on here. We could go with the America one, design 3. Kind of thinking design number 4 right here. All right, let's buy this, and we'll go to combinations here, and we're looking for something that we can use auto loading with, and we need to make sure we have that installed. Let's take a look in here now. We go to trucks, combinations, and I think what we have on length here, I mean, that's more than enough, and we can put all the wool pallets on here, the tomatoes on here. Let's go ahead and buy that for $46,000. That leaves us with $152,000 still. This was the right location. Perfect. Let's get this hooked up. It seems to be long enough to be able to put the John Deere on here so we can get it home a little bit quicker. And the next thing we need to do is move some tomatoes over to the ketchup production. We're going to make sure that's going at all times. Back up our view here. Perfect. All right, let's get into the John Deere and cruise on up. Is it going to be long enough? We might have to pull up to the top there to get these home in one go. Just gonna go up here. No, not going to be able to do it, huh? There we go. Powered through it. It's got to stay straight on here. Get this trailer up there as well. Yeah, we're going to have to drive all the way to there. Shut the tractor off. That should work. We'll get it strapped in. We'll get her home. And just for sanity's sakes, let's go ahead and take a look at the grain trailers as well. 75.6 meters. This is probably something we'll be looking at. $110,000. I mean, getting that used would be pretty nice. So we'll keep an eye on that over the next year until we're ready to move grain. Once we're ready to move grain, from our silo to sell it. And that's really been the pain point, is all the back and forth we have to go with this trailer. And really the speed, I think, has been a bigger problem, not necessarily the capacity. But yeah, like I said, we'll take a look at the used market, keep an eye on that for anything compatible with the Mac that can move grain around for us. But we also need to look into some manure spreaders and slurry spreaders as well. We've been leasing those. We still can if we need to, though. Seems to be a good spot to drop off the John Deere. Not bad. Quick transportation. And 5,000 tomatoes heading on over to the ketchup production. Already feels so much better going a decent speed on this dirt road. I love it. Wise decision, I think. I haven't decided if I want to turn on precision farming on this playthrough, and I'm open for suggestions from you guys if you think we should just leave this series the way it was, since we started it prior to that being a feature or a available mod for us, or do we add it anyways because I like playing that way. But it is nice to have the multiple styles of playthroughs going at the same time. If people don't, enjoy precision farming, it'd be nice to have a series for them. So, let me know what you guys think about that. But we're almost to the ketchup production. 152,000. I'm really tempted to see if we can sneak in another one. I can't remember the prices on all of them. Like the bakery maybe, but I think we want to hold off because we can't overspend. We need to start making a little bit more cash, and no reason to rush the series. Yeah, and like I thought, there's nothing here spawned. So let's get these deposited and let's see what's going on with this production. We got enough water here. We don't need that. Ketchup. Okay, so we're just a little short, a couple hundred, little over 100 ketchup to go before we see our first pallet there of this year. So let's go home. We're gonna get reacquainted with everything around the farm and field wise and see what needs to be done this winter to prep for some spring planting if we can get turned around here. There we go. All right, let's head home. I think we'll take the Puma to go around to our fields and see what the states they're in. Yeah, there's all the wool that we'll be selling in May. We have a decent amount of wrapped silage still. I think there's some in there. There is. And then we also have the silo bunker over there with some silage in it, the silage bunker. So that's something we don't need to really worry about, and for a while we're going to keep it covered. We're not going to sell any of that. Growth 2 out of 8 fertilize is at 50%, so this is something that needs another application of fertilizer. We talked about cover crops. I think we're going to move on from that. We were talking about doing double application of it or testing it out. Doesn't seem to be really worth it, but I think the first job we're going to want to do is cultivate up the oilseed radish here, because I believe that's what this is. Yes, and that'll give us that 50% fertilized state. We can get, I don't remember what we're going to plant in here, but we'll figure that out. Over here, we're definitely going to do corn again. And let's see what we have for a planter. Do we need to cultivate? Looks like we have the Optima. Don't remember if we can do no-till planting with that. The Optima does not, so we do need to cultivate, so that's something we could take care of today as well. I think what we'll do is let's see what has more, if it's slurry or manure, and we'll lease a spreader for that. We'll get it on this field to the left. We'll do that first, and then I might do the field behind us as well, depending on the capacities we have. And our money's looking good. We might look at prices for buying one of the two. So 87,000 liters of manure. And I don't believe, I don't have manure being produced from the cattle. And I don't remember if that's a thing or not. Not the cattle, the horses. Our slurry tank's down here from the cattle. Hopefully there's a good amount of slurry in here. Let's see what we're looking at. Come over here. Can we see? Can we not see? Let's go in the menus. I do know this will show us. So slurry is looking at 100,000. So this is maxed out. So let's look at spreaders. Look at slurry spreaders. $102,000. I feel like it's still in our best interest to lease these for now. So let's get the location set here. We'll pay the delivery fee. We can strategically do it back here. And that's not the one. We want this one. Let's go buy. Nope. We want to lease this. $5,000. That's not terrible. I mean, we'll see how many, how far this lasts us. We might have to do a manure spreader as well, but there's 18,000, so we know we get a decent amount of trips back here to reload it, refill it up. Do we need to switch to the 7R for this? Seems like the case is handling it fine. And this should be open enough to be able to cut through. And I've been debating getting rid of the horses, and I think we want to wait till they're at their max price for selling before we do that. Just, I don't really know if they're worth even dealing with. I mean, they're worth 2,500 right now. We'll wait till they hit puberty, see if how much higher that goes. But let's go ahead and head on into this field here. I already forgot what's in here. Is it wheat? It's barley. And away we go. That should be applying now. Lock into place and see how far we get around this headland. With this first load, it is dropping pretty quick. We're gonna go, I don't know, 15 miles an hour instead. You know, speed override saves a little product. It gets the job done quicker. That's, you know, the way we play on this channel. Boy, I'm kind of impressed. We're getting almost our second time around the headland with one tank here. We'll double check the screens and make sure it is taking this application of fertilizer, because we don't want to waste our material. It seems like it is. I don't know what happened there. Interesting. And we missed a little bit there. So we can get those areas later on. Let's go ahead and fold it up, go get another load. I mean, looking at that map, we're gonna have plenty of slurry. You know, having the fertilizer on the mini map might be enough of a reason to do precision farming. So let's go ahead and try to get this little spot here. I think that was about it. I don't know why that spot's not taking, so we'll ignore it. Go ahead and lock in here, start doing these ups and downs, and we'll get it as good as we can. We're not gonna obsess over getting every little spot of it. 1% left. I don't think it's going to be enough to finish. We'll have to go get some more, but this went a lot further than I thought it would. We can get at least 3 more tanks full for doing the cornfield. I still don't know if that'll be enough, but we'll fill it up. We'll finish those 2 passes. Let's take a look at our progress here. Yeah, pretty good. We even went over this another time, and that area we can try again. I'm not sure what's happening right there. I'm a little confused on that. And finishing the last few passes here, and then we're gonna jump on over to the cornfield and keep on going. Love using the natural resources and not fertilizer. I love it. Now, will the areas that weren't harvested, that just withered, are they gonna actually take? I don't know. It looks like both sides are. So that's promising so far. Let's look at the map here. Yeah, we want weeds off. Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. The areas we didn't harvest are gonna not get fertilizer. That's unfortunate. Unless it counts it when we cultivate it up like a cover crop, but I don't think it will with corn. It's all good.
Driving by the fields I used to run through, where you were chasing me. We were riding out under the bleachers when no one could see. Oh, sweet memories of a town I loved, but oh, it changed when you left.
Now we almost got all the way around. There's a couple spots that Storm damage. I thought we shut that off. Okay, let's go fill up. We'll see how far we get with the slurry. And I think, you know, we probably did enough time lapses of putting slurry down. So we're going to jump ahead here in a little bit and keep you updated on what we're doing, though. And picking up the last bit, I believe, of slurry that we have. And we got a majority of the field done. Let's see what we have in here. 11,000. That's not terrible. But if we look out here, you can see we just have this section here, which we should be able to handle with just the 12,000 liters left. And all complete. Let's get this folded up. We do have, I don't know if we can put this back in. So that's 7,000 that we're gonna lose. Well, I'll try. I don't believe you can. That's unfortunate. Yeah, it seems to be just a one-directional thing. Hitting I's. Yeah, slurry not accepted here. All right, well, let's return it and heading out with the cultivator. I think we'll do the cornfield first, and after that we can do the oilseed radish, but I haven't got to use this much on this playthrough, I don't believe, so this will be nice. Some big equipment. Feeling like a real farmer. And even with that, we're gonna start right in the middle. Start right about here. Lock into place, get it lowered, get cruise control set. Get this job done, get it a nice cultivated state, get it ready to be planted this spring. It feels good to be farming, guys. Feels real nice. Let's bust this out.
Wishing for this road to take us far. Now I've been away too long. I'm going home. Oh, sweet memories of a town I love, but changed when you left. I keep on asking myself in my mind, were you the one that got away? Sweet memories of the town I love, but changed when you left. I keep on asking myself in my mind, were you the one? Were you the one? Always on my mind.
Well, during the little time lapse there, we did get a notification that we're out of room for the wool to spawn, and that's been problematic on this playthrough. One of the solutions that I've heard is people have been setting up an auto-loading trailer right next to where the wool spawns from, but I don't know if I completely want that or if that will completely work, because it might load partial ones. So one of the things I've been debating is getting rid of the sheep and really evaluating or reevaluating all of the livestock that we do have and figure out, are they actually adding to the productions we're going to buy eventually? Do we need the goods they're producing? And if we don't, we'll probably get rid of them and just really limit our focus on the productions and what we need for them, instead of just maximizing it with every animal type that we have. We don't have pigs, but we pretty much have everything else. We don't have water buffalo either, I guess. So some decisions we'll be making in the near future just to kind of limit what we have to worry about, so that we're really focused on the things that are going to progress us towards our goals in this playthrough. Majority of the field done here. I'm going to just do this end row because there's little spots that we miss. But if we look at the map now, see the fertilized state did treat us pretty good on those spots that we didn't take care of. So that's good. And we can see, you know, stubble tillage, it looks like, is what we have now with this cultivator. So just this little section left to do, and then field number 8 as well. And then we'll be all prepped and ready to plant come spring. And all done with the cornfield. Looking slick out here, actually. Loving it. All right, well, we're going to move this over to the sugar beet radish, but I think we're going to take care of that wool issue first. So 31,000 liters of wool, and I think we are going to just stack them over here. We do need to get some storage for stuff like this long term, but as of right now, I will just... Actually, we'll probably just leave them on the truck for now. If we don't need to change that or use that for something else, there's no reason to really stress about it. Now, we did the headlands last on the last field, but I like doing the headlands first, guys. I know it's not super realistic, but it's the way I enjoy playing. And that's what this is all about for me. All right, so that should be switching this to a 50% fertilized state, and it is beautiful. So we'll get this all taken care of, and then it looks like we do need to fertilize the grass field, which is unfortunate because we had that 7,000 left over in the slurry tank that we could have used over there. That's lame. We'll figure that out in February. Or maybe we'll wait till we plant the corn to worry about that. And I think instead of just doing the headlands, I'll do the end rows. And then as we do the ups and downs, we'll naturally get the leftover pieces that we missed on these turnarounds. I think that'll be a good way to do it. So we did the end rows and the loop part, the round part of this field, you can see behind me there. So now I'm going to go to the far end of the field and work my way back on the ups and downs. That would be the best way to do it. I'm starting to really kind of think about how I would do this in real life. I've been, unfortunately, using the wrong equipment, but I've been clearing a lot of brush on my property with my zero-turn lawnmower. And it's had me think a little bit differently about the way I'm doing the game now that I have a larger area. I did have about an acre that I was cutting of grass, you know, just for our lawn. And now it's about 2 acres after all the brush that I've cleared. And it's really, it's got me thinking a little differently about how I would do things if it was actually a farm and not just, you know, our property, which maybe someday it will be. We did go look at tractors. I was looking at LS tractors at a local dealership here, which are, you know, the same exact engines as Case IH's and New Holland from what the dealership was telling me there. So pretty excited about that. Eventually we will be purchasing that. And I'll definitely do a video of that in real life when we get to it. But it's just been kind of making me think a little differently about this game. And I'm sure everyone does things their own way. And this is pretty much how I would cultivate a field, I think, if I was doing it myself. Well, the oilseed radish did its job. We got this field 50% fertilized and cultivated, ready to be planted. Even if we use our seeder on this field in the spring, which we might do for soybeans, we still, you know, needed to cultivate it to get that 50% bonus. I don't believe we could have drilled it and planted at the same time with the seeder and still got that bonus. So that's what we did. Looking good. I think the last thing we're going to do here in January is take a look at all the animals, make sure they have food, maybe make some decisions on the sheep. They're making us a good amount of money, but they're not necessarily needed. All this stuff needs to get put away. We need to do better. I think I'm going to hook up the case to the feed mixer so we can just leave it there for now, because we're going to use the small John Deere to fill the feed mixture. So I think that's wise. And we did learn that we can just leave that right there. It's kind of in the way, but if we just leave it here, we can feed them from right there, which is I mean, pretty sweet feature if you ask me. So I did adjust the ratio that we're doing since we have so much of this grass now. Or I guess this is hay, isn't it? So much of this hay that we don't necessarily need to go heavy on silage, so we can save a little bit of silage now. So we're going to drop all 3 of these in there and grab 3 silage bales as well, because we were doing 2 silage bales to every hay bale, and that's just going to burn through the more expensive. Well, I guess we kind of talked about it. Hay seems to be more expensive the way we're doing it. A little harder to make the hay. Let's go ahead and drop those in here. Come on. You can do it. Oh, that one's not gonna Is it not going to play nice? I guess we just wait for it to take it. We just wait. There we go. Now straighten out the forks. And we'll get the silage bales and get the case all hooked up and see how the ratio looks. And I don't believe that we're going to need any straw. It's not necessarily a requirement. It does help, you know, save us some resources, but if we're not generating straw this year, it's something we can get away with not having. Tip that a little more. We'll just lower it like that. Let it take it. And that should be good right there. Give them as much as we can right now, and then we'll check the rest of the animals next. So we got the 3650 here. It's got it all shut off. Over here, feed hasn't been really a concern. 16,000. Yeah, I guess we want to bring a little bit of hay over here. And like I said, we've got it. Might as well put it in the pens. So when we get busy in the later months, and forget about it. We don't, you know, risk losing a little bit of health of our animals. Oh, we lost one. How did that happen? That's all right. 2 will be enough for now. Here we go. And then let's check on the horses next. The thing I don't know is I absolutely want to get rid of them, but I don't know if we can get rid of this building and sell it as well. Food is fine for them right now. Because it would be nice to reclaim this land and put a nice shed here that we can put pallets in and bales and all of that. I want to wait till they get to maturity. I think we got a little bit to go. They are at reproduction that is 0. Puberty is at 77%. So let's let them at least hit puberty. We'll see how that value changes, and we might sell them at that point. So head on over to the chickens, see how they're doing with feed. Might need to move a little bit of barley for them. I think that's what we have. We might have sorghum. Good amount of pallets over here. 1,500, yeah, would be good. Yeah, let's get the trailer. Let's get them a little bit topped off to make sure that they have enough feed to make it through the night. All right, that's hooked up. Let's go ahead and cruise on over to the silo. Look at this deal. Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, let's get this topped off with some, I believe it is sorghum. Let's take a look back here. How are we looking? Yeah, perfect. Probably could have got away with selling some of the sorghum this time around, but no need to. Let's go ahead, and that'll be more than enough for now. 20,000 in here. And just cruise around and probably just leave this out for now and just top them off. Looking good. Pretty good day on the farm, if you ask me. Time to get some sleep. Socks way up. I'll catch you in February.